The second step is to load the training data. That will be the first 40 rows of our data set. We call this chunk training data because it is the data that we will use to teach or train our decision tree to make predictions. Notice that the training data is complete and is not missing information in any of the columns. For the purposes of this exercise, we have prepared the training data set ahead of time. So let's start by running the cell that will let us load the training data into the notebook. Notice also that I have chosen to name our training data S 2020 training. The S just stands for summer, nothing cryptic. The code in this cell is reading the CSV files stored in GitHub, a popular web platform for coders that stores files and code, similar to Google Drive or Dropbox, but specialized for code. Let's follow the link to see how our dataset actually looks like. For those who are unfamiliar with CSV files, CSV stands for comma-separated values. As you can see, this is how the dataset actually looks like. Each value is separated by commas, even the title for our columns. However, our notebook can easily present us with a nicer looking version of the same dataset. Once we have loaded our dataset, we can actually see it by running the cell below. As you can tell, this is way better looking than our actual CSV file. We're able to recognize different rows, different columns. Make sure that the data is loaded correctly, with the title of the columns on the top and the corresponding values below them. As you can see, this looks good. Take into account, however, that our training data is fairly small. It is common in machine learning to work with datasets that have thousands of rows. For this reason, it's a more common practice to just look at some of the data using .head. We can take a peek at the first 5 rows using this command. Another way to check for completeness is to use .shape. This will give you 2 numbers. The first being the number of rows, one for each county in the training data, and then the 11 columns that we mentioned before.